course we do! Let's do this. Something's different. Down to the floors and the walls, the school has changed the very substance of its being. For some reason, reality cracking in this way is intensely disturbing. This world around me is more real than a painting, but not even as real as a sandcastle. I feel like it's so brittle I could tap it and the echo would shake this whole world. Where the boring concrete wall once stood, there's now a doorway that I can freely walk through. It's an entrance, no, an emergency exit, like stairs to the outside. It's not something of this world. I have no doubt that the world the door leads to is utterly alien. Whatever awaits inside, whatever shape it takes, there's a certain sort of finality to seeing it. Ultimately, I've already committed to this path. I've entered out of this false world and taken the first step along the appointed path. And we are finally out of the prologue, everybody. Thank God. If you made it this far, congrats. That was boring while it lasted. Ooh. Beyond the door seems to be a dismal-looking scrapyard. In front of me is a smooth-skinned effigy. I'm trying to figure out exactly what to do with it. Welcome, potential master. A voice comes out of nowhere. That effigy, if you use your sword and shield for what lies ahead, it will move in response to your commands. Now then, please proceed. The truth that you seek lies ahead. The motivation. I speak good English. The motivations of the owner of that voice worry me, but it's obvious I won't learn anything by standing here. Also, there is no longer a path by which I can return. I have no choice but to head into the darkness with only this strange doll as protection. I made it. Within the deepest depths of the world beyond the door. This place was me to go. I'm supposed to reach. At least that's what I thought. Stifling the aura of purity that seems to act as a ward against corrupted souls who try to enter. The feeling is familiar. It has the feeling of a chapel where spirits of the deceased still linger. There's a dead person over there. Ah, that's wonderful. At first I didn't notice being overrun by the grandeur of the room, but to one side is a young man in a familiar uniform lying still on the ground. I call out to him, but there is no reply. I shake him and attempt to wake him up, but then when I notice he is stone cold, I go as pale as the corpse before me. I can no longer think coherently. All I can do is stare in bewilderment. It is at this moment the fallen effigy lying next to the male student comes to its feet with a clatter. Before I get a chance to make sense of what's going on, it suddenly twists around and comes right at me. This game has clearly not heard of show, don't tell. That's all I gotta say. Woo! Ow! Well, my effigy is getting its butt kicked. It's like launching a Mortal Kombat game. Oh, this ain't good. Come on! Fight back, idiot! Well. Okay. Ah, crap, my dad's calling. Sorry about the interruption, guys. I had to pause it with this. So, yeah, sorry about that. My dad called me. Can't really do much about that. I'm just going to have to combine those two videos into one, so... oh well. We got our butt skipped. Seem to be lacking as well. I didn't stand a chance against that thing. It seems I wasn't qualified to be here. Me? Qualifications? That's right, I should know everything by now. Truth has to be here. But now... everything's going dark. Not even really scared. The only feeling that remains in me is regret. Even at the very end, I was unable to remember anything about myself. Someone, anyone, if you make it beyond here, please don't forget my name. Oh, there is an intro! Holy crap, I don't remember this. Oh, let's turn this up. This was not in the game. What the heck? We're missing the PS. I don't know, maybe they fixed it. Maybe they haven't done it. Let's turn this up and listen. Well, that was pretty cool. By the way, that was not us. We were at the prologue. We actually played as another person. Now, we, the actual main character, get to come in. So, okay, now this is where we kind of pick our servant. So, we can either pick Saber, Archer, or Caster. Okay, I'm going to be that guy and go with Saber because I like Saber a lot. I don't really care too much for Archer. Caster, a friend of mine went with and he told me that she's a really good character. But also, these kind of act like our difficulty. Saber is the easiest. Archer is kind of like the medium difficulty. And Caster is the hard difficulty. But I'm going to go with Saber. Not because she's the easiest, but because she's one of my favorite characters from the Fate series. And she's just awesome. Saber, standard, a young woman clothed in crimson raiment with the mannerisms of a man. The servant is best suited for novice players. Yes. Now we should be going to character customization. I'm not entirely sure on that. Like when we get to do that. Can't remember. Okay, yeah, see, we started playing as that guy, and now we go and play as us. It's very weird how they do this. I was awakened very abruptly. I don't even think I dreamed. I just suddenly found myself walking to school. My headaches worsen day by day until it finally buzzes in my head like an alarm. That day in potent numbness, I wake up twice as fast as normal. I walk to a schoolyard. It's clear and cloudless. 7:30 a.m. But what season is it? When I try to recall what season it is, I start to get so dizzy I almost pass out. I may wind up back in bed if I go in pain. But for some time, I have been embracing a rush of useless information. The normal stuff you'd see at a school, like the hustle and bustle of my classmates by the entrance. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. When I push the flow out, my field of vision fizzles. Today, there's a crowd of students milling in front of the school gate, and more are being directed that way. As to what's going on, there's a boy in a black uniform in front of the school gate. He's my friend, as I recall. He's Issei Ryudo, as I recall. I remember this from the first time when Issei notices me through looking at him. He pushes me through the crowd. Good morning, lovely weather we're having, don't you think? Why do you look so surprised? We announced at last week's assembly that this month the student council would strictly enforce school rules. He runs through his spiel as if this was the first time he'd ever disclosed this information. I already know this. I know it. I already know what happens. It's happened more than once. I'm seized by a headache. I'm so dizzy I feel like I'm being forcibly logged out of my consciousness. I think I just got a notification on Skype, but I'm going to ignore it. First, let me check your student ID. I shouldn't need to remind you, but it should be new at all times. My login ID is being checked. It's so obvious now. I answer clearly to the question that usually makes me go dizzy. Alrighty, now we pick our gender. I'm going to go with a girl, because honestly I like the girl's design more than a guy. He just looks kind of meh. Like the girl looks a lot better. Let's go with the girl. You actually can see the female and the male characters in the hallways while you're playing as the other guy who gets killed. And it's something that I noticed while walking around. I think I noticed it in like part 1 or 2. Ah, go away. There we go, female. Alrighty. I'm going to go with my usual name whenever I make a female character in a game. And there we go. Oh, we gotta come up with the last name. Crap. Ah, screw it. That's my real last name, everybody. Don't wear it out. Confirm. Because I am lazy and I am unimaginative. Let's go with Kira in all caps. Yeah. Yeah. Not in all caps. That looks stupid. I split with an E or an I first. I suddenly can't remember. Okay, cool. Great, there's no time when an emergency might occur. It'll be a help if you have your ID. I feel nauseous, and I know it has nothing to do with what I ate for breakfast this morning. I feel nauseous because of the world around me. It's repeating itself over and over, and that's making me sick. Now for the uniform inspection. Collar, check. Pants, check. And your socks, check. I want him to get out of the way. I want this repetition to stop. I push him aside and go forward. I'm not nice about it either. Next is the contents of your bag. Notebooks, textbooks, pencil box, not even a whiff of contraband. Your nails are evenly cut and your haircut is sensible. Indeed, quite remarkable. You're a model Sukumahara student. He keeps on talking loudly even though he's facing no one. I have a headache, I'm shivering, I know one thing for sure. This is wrong, this is not the school I know, it can't be. I have to go, I have to hurry and wake up or else it'll be too late. But who am I awakening for? My anxiety and headaches are only getting worse. Afternoon arrives while I desperately try to find a way to escape this bizarre situation. As it's now the norm, my vision is overlaid with some kind of unnatural distortion. Uneasiness, fertility, emptiness. I want someone to explain to me the true nature behind all these feelings. There must be a key somewhere, something that will have the answers to all my questions. Man, where is everyone? It's like a ghost town. This is where Shinji sits. Shinji's desk is disturbingly organized, a reflection of his obsessive-compulsive personality. Oh, I was hitting one of the desks. Damn hair physics. The boys' bathroom. I don't have the guts to walk in. Okay. Hey, that's us, or it was us. When I set foot on the first floor, my feelings of unease intensified. There was a student wearing a red uniform, Leo, the new transfer student. Inside, lay eyes on him, I immediately feel intimidated and humiliated. There's also someone trailing behind him that looks like one of my classmates. The more I think, the more I realize that Leo isn't the only anomaly I've come across on campus. There are other things that seem off as well. It's becoming clearer now there are people who should not exist, students that deserve to vanish. The fabric of reality is coming unraveled. Don't turn away now. What is the truth? Don't turn away now. It defines the world, you know. Don't turn away now. There's a reason why you're here. Don't ask me what that was, I don't know. Come, do not allow yourself to close your eyes to the truth. This is like some Persona 4 stuff. It's time to Sakura. She's not here, dang it. Yes, fast run. Yeah. Truth. Don't close away your eyes. This is Persona 4 all over again. The only one of the guys from my classes are talking the hallway up ahead. The attention to detail is quite impressive, even the surrounding air is surprisingly substantial. If that is the case, this world is in some way more real than others. Yeah. How about you guys? You knew both people were here. That's hilarious. What are your thoughts on this? You guys, for a moment, it feels as if he is including me in his comment. However, Leo begins speaking to my classmates, seemingly oblivious to my presence. Greetings, I believe this is the first time we've had an actual conversation. Leo gives me a smile with no hostility. However, I have a suspicion that there is something malicious behind his smile. Attending school wasn't half bad. I've never had the opportunity, and blah blah blah. So, where we thought he was talking to us, he's really talking to the actual main character. I did not come here to play at being a student. No matter how enjoyable the detour, eventually one must return to their appointed path. For me, the time to do so has arrived. With his final words, Leo turns his back on me. Farewell? No, that's not quite right. I don't think farewell would be accurate in this situation. For reasons I cannot explain, I have a distinct feeling that we will see each other again. So I guess it's used a more congenial see you later. Well, it's time for me to move on. I wish you best of luck. Blah, 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 blah. We've seen all this before. Leo said as much, even going so far as to look in my direction. For some inexplicable reason, I'm not surprised that Leo knew I was spying on him. Trying to get things straightened out of my mind when Leo suddenly disappears. The student who is following him also disappears after touching the same spot on the wall. At the same moment he vanishes, my vision distorts and shock threatens to overwhelm me. What is going on here? I wonder if this place is the source of unease. You know, I've got the hiccups now. God dang it. I came, I placed my hand on the wall, expecting to be drawn in. I see now that the way to the truth, to why I have these feelings, begins right here. I want to know. The atmosphere changes. There's a doorway, an entrance where the concrete wall used to be. It's not something of this world. There's no doubt this door leads to someplace unfathomable. I bid farewell to the false world and take my first step towards the truth. Another effigy. Wonderful. Entrance to another world beyond the store. The previous statement perfectly describes the view before me. Walking behind me is my strange, silent attendant. It is to be my sword and shield for what lies ahead. A disembodied voice suddenly confirms my thoughts. How do I have yet to learn anything I need to do something besides stand here? At the very least, there might be some clues to this bizarre experience up ahead. I have no choice but to head into the darkness with only the strange doll as protection. Oh. Cool. Let's go for a stroll, doll. Whoop, what the? Okay. Oh, can we? Oh. Dang it, I was hoping for a free ride. Oh. Oh. Just keep running, okay. More weirdness.